yoga and muscular endurance in the population. So there are plenty of benefits that people can gain from doing yoga consistently. Some of those can be improvements on anxiety, stress, mood. It's better physical performance. It improves posture and it improves flexibility as well. So one of the researchers named Chen in 2009 had actually done the effects of yoga exercise intervention on health-related physical fitness in children with asthma. So there were 31 participants split into two groups. One was an exercise group of 16, a control group of 15, and all participated in yoga for 60 minutes of the day. 10 minutes would consist of warming up and breathing techniques. 40 minutes would then be yoga posture, and 10 minutes would consist of the cool down. And this exercise had been going on for 7 consecutive weeks. The results of this exercise or research was the positive association between exercise habits after school and muscular strength and endurance amongst asthmatic children. And there was an increase in the BMI, flexibility, and cardiopulmonary fitness in these children.
Hello, my name is John Park, and I did the research on how the sun salutation improved muscular strength, general body endurance, and the body composition in general. And in this research, there were 79 subjects, 49 of which were males and 30 were females. And these subjects did 24 cycles of the sun salutation in 6 days for 24 weeks. And afterwards, they would measure their muscular strength and the general body endurance and their strength and endurance and general body composition afterwards using specific tests like push-ups and sit-ups to measure their general body endurance. And afterwards, when they did these tests, they found that the muscular strength and general body endurance has significantly increased for both men and women, and their body weight and BMI decreased and reduced for both men and women. However, their body fat percent decreased significantly for only women, and their body mass increased, or the lean body mass increased for men and women, but significantly for women only. And the RPE for men, they said, was 11, which is equal to 50% VO2 max exercise intensity, and for women, they only said 1, which is a 75% VO2 max exercise intensity.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Barrera, and the name of my research article is the 12-week Hatha Yoga Invention of Cardiorespiratory Endurance, Muscular Strength and Endurance and Flexibility in Hong Kong Chinese Adults. So there were 173 participants of women and men. Both groups were split into two of controlled group and the yoga group. The yoga group were put in a training program of 12 weekly 60-minute sessions. The controlled group were told to maintain the regular activities and to try not to do any yoga exercises. The purpose of the study was to see if the yoga group would be affected in any way, whether it was cardiorespiratory endurance, muscular strength and endurance, or flexibility, with a list of exercises they were given and doing in the process. Hatha yoga is compared to other forms of yoga. Hatha yoga focuses the most on overall fitness through breath control exercises and meditation. Hatha yoga is supposed to quiet the mind and focus the concentration. So some of the poses that they use in these yoga exercises were a half moon pose, a mountain pose, a standing forward bend pose, and a bound angle pose. So the test that they were using was the Canadian Standardized Test of Fitness. The test included push-up and curl-up test. The test would measure the muscular endurance of upper body muscles, which included the bicep brachii, pectoralis major, and minor. It would also measure the muscular endurance of the abdominals. An example would be rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, external and internal obliques. So for my results, we had significant improvements in VO2 max, muscular strength, and flexibility. For the resting heart rate reduction, more in women and younger subjects. Some possible limitations would be the lack of randomization, non-blinded assessment of outcomes, possible lack of measurement of confounding factors such as diet and sleep quality, and then subjects were highly motivated for the study, yet the yoga was adapted for beginners. And lastly, sessions were once per week.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Chavez, and the study I focused on was on the effects of Hatha Yoga practice of the health-related aspects of physical fitness. There were 9 female subjects and 1 male subject, ranging from the ages 18 to 27. These subjects were expected to attend 50% of the yoga classes offered. They were also required to be sedentary, having engaged in no regular physical activity for the past 6 months. They were also told to refrain from doing other exercises. The study lasted 8 weeks, and classes were offered 4 times a week, each class lasting an hour and a half long. Evaluations during this program were made weeks before and immediately after the 8 weeks. Muscular endurance was measured at isometric contractions, including elbow flexion and extension, knee flexion and extension. Results showed improved muscular endurance only in knee flexion, which increased by 57%. While there was only improvement in knee flexion, a previous study showed more improvement with a 6-month program.
Hello, my name is Patrick Kubak. The research that I found is a 6-week systematized yoga practice on muscular endurance in young women. The participants that were in this experiment were 60 young women from a range of 20 to 29 years old. The time lapse of this experiment was 6 weeks, which had 18 sessions 3 times a week for 1 hour. In this experiment, they split into 2 groups of 30, one being the yoga group and the other being the controlled group. The goal of this experiment is to test the muscular endurance in the upper region after completing 3 phases in the program. These phases were the prep phase, main phase, and the final phase. In the prep phase, they did a 5-minute of slow to vigorous nasal respiratory exercises. In the main phase, they did 45 minutes of sun salutation, which consists of 15 yoga poses. For example, they did tree pose, triangle pose, royal, ballerina, half moon, etc. For the final phase, they did 5 minutes of nasal breathing in a meditation, 5 minutes of normal breathing while laying on the floor. For their assessment, they did their age, their height, their body mass, and their BMI. After the assessment, they did a endurance test which consisted of a sit-up and push-up test. For my results, after both groups have completed the experiment, they conducted the endurance test, which again were the sit-ups and the push-ups. They did this before and after the experiment. Before the experiment, both groups were about the same at around 20 to 21 reps per minute. After the experiment, however, the yoga group increased by 6 reps, where the controlled group decreased by 1 to 3 reps. During the experiment, 13 participants dropped due to not attending the minimum 75% of the session, 4 of which were in the yoga and 9 of which were in the control. In conclusion, the reasoning behind the increase of the reps by the yoga group is because they have to constantly do isometric contractions, which help increase their muscular endurance.
Through our research for this project, we learned about the many benefits of yoga. Practicing yoga has been shown to increase muscle strength and flexibility. People have also shown improvement in athleticism and posture, as well as improvement in anxiety, stress, and mood levels. As far as weight loss benefits, decrease in BMI levels have been shown after taking part in yoga. While some of the studies we looked at focused on sun salutation or Hatha yoga, there are many other types. The number of different kinds of yoga makes it easier for different kinds of people to start practicing. After doing research on the effects of yoga on muscular endurance, we found that it can benefit anyone.